The principle of the cup. Two people go to a factory to work and make cups. They have no choice but to go to work under the current circumstances. However, person A goes to work to earn 1,000,001 to make a living, while person B works hard for the sake of the people who will use the cup. Both work for 8 hours and receive 1,000,001 each. Now, which of these two led a more meaningful and respectable life? Of course, it would be person B. When people are given work, it is not just to pay them money, it is because there is a task that needs to be done. The opportunity to work is given for the benefit of those who will use the cup. The difference between working with this depth of understanding and working without it is like the difference between heaven and earth. If you go to work solely to make a living, you have never truly done anything for others. Working just to survive is considered a life driven by instinct, an animalistic way of living. However, once you understand this fundamental truth, your perspective changes. You go to work not just for yourself but for the people who will use the cup. Such a person lives a virtuous life for the sake of others. In doing so, their burdens naturally dissolve, as karma is eliminated when one engages in good deeds for others. Yet, in the end, both workers put in 8 hours of labor and received 1,000,000 won. If even a little of that money were withheld, people would surely protest. There is a predetermined path for everything in life, yet we often misunderstand it. Why is life difficult for so many people? It is because they live like person A. We must train ourselves to live like person B. That does not mean receiving less pay or working extra time without compensation. However, even though they work the same amount, those who work with the mindset of person B do not find their work difficult. They find joy in contributing to others, so they do not feel exhausted from work. On the other hand, those who work only to survive feel drained and fatigued, even when performing the same tasks. The difference between those who understand this principle and those who do not is immense. Those who fail to grasp this concept will experience several times the exhaustion, suffering, and illness. Meanwhile, those who understand and apply this wisdom do not grow weary, even when working hard. Life on this earth provides us with countless opportunities to eliminate our karmic burdens through our daily actions. However, because many people do not understand this fundamental truth, they end up living a meaningless life. Analysis of the principle of the cup from an employer's perspective. As an employer, the principle presented in the text highlights two contrasting work attitudes. 1. Employee A works solely to earn money for survival. 2. Employee B works with a sense of purpose, contributing to the well-being of those who will use the product. From a business and leadership standpoint, let's analyze these two perspectives. 1. Employee motivation and productivity. 1. Employee A's mindset leads to minimal engagement. 1. They work only for the paycheck, which means their motivation is low. 1. They may perform only the required tasks, avoid extra responsibilities, and may even become disengaged or burnt out over time. 2. Employee B's mindset creates a sense of purpose, making them more engaged and dedicated. 2. When employees feel their work has a greater impact, they are naturally more productive and committed to quality. Right finger. As an employer, fostering a work environment where employees feel purpose-driven, like employee B, leads to higher productivity and morale. 2. Quality of work and customer satisfaction. 1. Employee A might do the bare minimum since their focus is on collecting a paycheck. 1. They may not care about the final product or the customers using it. 2. Employee B works with the end user in mind, ensuring the product is made with care and quality. Right finger. From a business perspective, an organization thrives when employees take ownership of their work. High-quality output leads to better customer satisfaction, repeat business, and a strong reputation. 3. Workplace culture and employee retention. 1. A workforce dominated by employee A's mindset may create a toxic work environment with high turnover, disengagement, and a lack of teamwork. 2. A workforce inspired by employee B's mindset fosters collaboration, job satisfaction, and long-term loyalty to the company. Right finger. A strong company culture is built when employees feel valued and see their work as meaningful. This leads to better retention, reducing hiring and training costs. 4. Employers' role in shaping mindsets. 1. Employees rarely develop the B mindset on their own. 2. The employer's leadership, vision, and communication play a huge role in shaping employees' perspectives. How an employer can encourage a B mindset among employees. Checkmark. Communicate purpose. Regularly remind employees how their work impacts the company, customers, and society. Checkmark. Recognize contributions. Acknowledge and reward employees who demonstrate commitment beyond just earning a paycheck. Checkmark. Foster a positive work environment. Provide a culture where employees feel valued and engaged. Checkmark. Encourage personal growth. Offer training, mentorship, and career development opportunities to help employees find deeper meaning in their work. Right finger. An employer who inspires a sense of purpose in employees will cultivate a workforce that is both loyal and high-performing. 5. The business impact of the A versus B mindset. 1. A company filled with A mindset. Employees will struggle with low morale, high turnover, and stagnant growth. 2. A company filled with B mindset. Employees will experience innovation, customer loyalty, and long-term success. Final conclusion. From an employer's perspective, the principle of the cup illustrates the importance of employee mindset in driving business success. A great leader must foster an environment where employees see beyond just their salary and understand the greater impact of their work. Thus, the key takeaway for a business owner is, don't just hire employees, inspire them. Bullseye. The cup maker's purpose. In a quiet town nestled between rolling hills, there stood a small but bustling factory that produced the finest cups in the region. The factory had been in operation for decades, providing work for the townspeople and supplying cups to households far and wide. Among the many workers, 2 men, June and Minho, were known for their contrasting attitudes toward their work. June, a middle-aged man with tired eyes and slouched shoulders, came to work every day with one goal: to earn his paycheck. He had a family to support, bills to pay, and little time to think about anything beyond his daily labor. Each day, he moved through the motions, pressing, molding, and inspecting cups with mechanical precision, counting the hours until he could return home. Minho, on the other hand, was a younger man with a deep sense of purpose. He approached his work with enthusiasm, believing that each cup he crafted had the potential to bring joy to someone's life. Whether it was a child sipping warm milk on a cold morning or an elderly couple sharing tea at sunset, Minho saw beyond the factory walls. To him, every cup was more than an object. It was a vessel of warmth, comfort, and memories. One day, the factory owner, Mr. Han, called a meeting. He was an elderly man, wise and observant, and he had noticed the stark contrast between June and Minho. "I have a challenge for you all," he announced. "We have received a special order for a set of cups that will be used in a prestigious international event. These cups must be crafted with the utmost care and precision. I want 2 workers to take on this responsibility." The room buzzed with excitement. Such an opportunity was rare, and the chosen workers would be rewarded handsomely. After careful thought, Mr. Han chose June and Minho. June sighed inwardly. More work, he thought. More hours spent doing the same thing. Minho, however, felt a thrill of excitement. He saw this as a chance to create something meaningful. As they worked side by side, their approaches remained distinct. June focused on efficiency, making sure he met the required quota. Minho, however, took his time, smoothing each curve, ensuring each cup had a perfect balance and finish. "Why are you wasting so much time on details?" June grumbled one evening as he watched Minho carefully examine a cup under the light. Minho smiled. "Because someone will drink from this cup. I want them to feel the care that went into making it." June shook his head. "It's just a cup. People just need something to hold their drink." Minho didn't argue. He simply continued his work. When the final day arrived, the finished cups were displayed before Mr. Han. He examined each one, nodding in approval. Then he did something unexpected. He picked up one of Minho's cups and one of June's and poured tea into each. "Now, drink from these," he said, handing a cup to June and another to Minho. June hesitated but complied. The tea was the same, yet something felt different. The cup he held, one of Minho's, seemed to rest perfectly in his hands, its weight balanced, its rim smooth against his lips. It was a small difference, but he felt it. Mr. Han smiled knowingly. "A cup is not just a cup," he said. It carries the energy of its maker. When someone pours their care into their work, it resonates. June sat in silence, staring at the cup in his hands. For years, he had worked only for survival, never thinking about the impact of his labor. But now, for the first time, he understood. His work was not just about earning a paycheck, it was about creating something of value for others. From that day forward, June's perspective shifted. He no longer counted the hours but instead focused on the quality of his craft. Work became less of a burden and more of a purpose. And in time, he found that he, too, no longer felt weary at the end of the day. Years later, when June retired, he kept one of Minho's cups as a reminder of the lesson he had learned. And each morning, as he sipped his tea, he felt the warmth of a life well lived, not just for survival, but for the joy of creation and the people who would benefit from it.